Dog rescue stories often begin in the hardest places, and Lexi's was no different. She was found in a wire crate, left behind during an evacuation. No food, no water, no comfort, just silence and fear. By the time rescuers saw her, she was barely holding on. She weighed only 8 pounds, her body cold to the touch, and she didn't even have the strength to lift her head. Her eyes looked empty, like she had already accepted the end. The rescuers knew they had to act quickly. They wrapped her in blankets, trying to bring warmth back into her body. For fluids were started, and an albumin transfusion was prepared. It wasn't just treatment, it was a desperate attempt to keep her alive. She couldn't stand, so every few hours they carefully turned her body, gave her medicine, and massaged her muscles to stop them from stiffening. Every small move mattered. At that time, no one could say if she would make it through the night. Her story was hard to share because it felt uncertain. But one thing was clear. Lexi deserved a chance. She deserved to be seen, to be loved, and to be given every possible shot at life. The first few days were slow and full of worry. She was weak, and every breath felt like a battle. But then something happened that changed everything. One morning, Lexi sat up on her own. It was shaky and it didn't last long, but it was enough to bring hope back into the room. For a dog that had once been too weak to move her head, sitting up was a huge step forward. After that, her progress came little by little. She started eating while sitting up. Her body slowly gained weight. Her eyes, once empty, began to look brighter. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Lexi stood up. Her legs wobbled, and she only managed a few steps, but her tail wagged as if she had just discovered happiness again. It was a small walk, but to those who had cared for her, it felt like a miracle. As her strength grew, her personality began to shine. Lexi showed interest in toys, gently nudging them at first and then batting them around with her paws. She walked more each day, exploring her surroundings and enjoying simple moments that had once seemed impossible. The dog who had been abandoned in silence was now curious and alive, showing the world that she wasn't giving up. Then came the best part. Lexi was ready for adoption. She had space surgery before leaving for her new home, and while she was still recovering, her new family was already waiting with open arms. At first, the car ride made her nervous. She wasn't sure about the changes ahead, but with a few cuddles and a little treat, she started to relax. Her new mom was patient, gentle, and prepared to help her heal both physically and emotionally. Her family gave her a new name, Molly Brown, a strong name for a strong dog. Almost right away, updates from her new home showed how well she was adjusting. Molly was cautious at first, but quickly warmed up. She loved the attention, the care, and the comfort of finally being safe. Her adoption was called a happy tale, the kind of ending that makes all the struggles and late nights worth it. One of the most touching moments was seeing Molly run on the sand for the first time. Her ears flopped as she ran. Her tail stood tall, and joy filled every step. Watching her play freely was almost unbelievable, considering where her story had started. Now, Molly isn't just surviving, she's thriving. She's no longer the weak, broken dog left in a crate. She's full of energy, surrounded by love, and finally living the life she was meant to have. Her transformation is living proof of what second chances can do. From abandoned to cherished, from empty eyes to a shining spirit, Molly's story shows that even the darkest beginnings can lead to the brightest endings. If this story touched you, give it a like. Tell us your own rescue story in the comments, or share this video to help more animals like Molly find the love they deserve.